Hi, Genki Call here with your Soulforge offerings for the week of May 8th, 2023. There is one interesting thing one thing that I would recommend possibly spending your gems on here is for summoning stones. If you don't have the Daughter of Ice yet and you need her for Guild Wars, that's mostly what she's used for. Because she's empowered, she converts red gems to blue and conjures an ice storm. Might be worth throwing some gems at that, trying to get her if you don't have her yet. As far as legendaries go, a Borith, this guy removes all gems. You don't get any mana out of it. He just removes everything from the board, heals back to full, and gains some attack. He also gains 2 life on 4+ gem matches, +3 to all skills when an enemy dies, and gains 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. Never use this guy. He could be useful for clearing the board if there are a ton of skulls on it, but generally speaking, I never use him. Hydra can be incredibly powerful. We use this troop in one of my sorry, my brain. We used it in one of my team building roulette videos or live streams, and we were able to one-shot the enemy team with this troop. But I don't remember how to do it, unfortunately. I'm going to have to look that up. Would I recommend crafting it either way? Probably not. 800 diamonds is an awful lot, and you're better off saving those for a mythic. For any legendary, I generally would say only craft them if you have a specific team that you want to use them on that you're just dying to try out, or if you need it for your power level for your kingdom. Anyway, he also, all enemies take 3 damage when they deal skull damage. That can be to the team. I don't think that has to be to Hydra itself. Also, that. King Solenus is in the drop table right now, right? Yes, Pan's Veil. He's in the drop table for event keys right now, so again, wouldn't spend 800 diamonds on him specifically myself, but he does give all wild folk allies a 50% mana start, and he's impervious. He does splash damage, which means at most you can hit 3 enemies, and then it's boosted by wild folk allies, steal magic from all enemies affected by the spell, and then burn all enemies. Are there any more? Yes, one more. Another one that does 50% mana start. This one is for Fae. He gives life and 5 magic to all allies straight up, creates a firestorm, and enchants all Fae allies. He can be really interesting to use on your team when you're running with Fae. I really like running him with Queen Titania, for instance. Let's see. Let's go back and look at these mythics. We have the Grey King, generally used for Guild Wars because you're going to destroy all gems of whatever color you want, and all enemies that use that color take true damage and are mana drained, silenced, and frozen. I tend not to like to use him in Guild Wars simply because it's true damage and you get fewer points, but he is a very powerful troop if you're fighting a monocolor team. Also, undead allies gain 2 armor and magic when matching 4+ gems, and he is undying, so he's immune to poison, disease, lycanthropy, and deathmark. To do Enrage Kurandar always here. The Scourge of Honor. This guy is really useful, especially now that the Empress exists. He does true damage to all enemies, gain 2 mana back for each cursed or diseased enemy, and he curses and diseases a random enemy when matching 4+ gems. So he's going to get a bunch of mana back when he casts, generally speaking. He explodes a green gem at the start of battle as well, so you get a little extra mana gen, and he's immune to disease and lycanthropy. Oh, I love that he's immune to lycanthropy. Huang Long. I enjoy this troop. Damage to all enemies with individual 50% chances to gain attack, gain an extra turn, and gain barrier, enchanted, or blessed. The last one is, one of those, but Anyway, he also has 50%, sorry, 70% skull damage reduction and gives 3 magic to all dragon allies when matching 4 plus gems. People don't generally use this troop, but I find him fun to use in delving when you've got those boosts to how much damage he can do per enemy. Yeah, I really like this troop actually. Would I recommend spending 4,000 diamonds on it? No. Because I forgot to show you. Ah, coming mythics for the Soulforge for this mythics cycle. All of these are still coming up. If there's one of these that you want more than what is in the Soulforge right now, save your diamonds. That is my recommendation. Ironhawk is going to be coming around at some point. It could be next week. It could be 6 weeks from now. We never know. Wild King and Wild Queen, of course, they're in the drop table right now, but Tina's going to be in the, I'm sorry, event key drop table. Anyway, these are the upcoming. I'll just let you pause and look at that. Ah, let's go back in here. Let's see. Those are always here. Wait, did we do 4? Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Voice of Orpheus. I went right past him. He's so handsome. And he's a little more useful nowadays than he originally was when he first came out, I think. He does damage to an enemy boosted by all ally mana. He cleanses all allies when he casts and gives all other allies 5 mana. The cleanse, super, super useful. Also, cleanses all allies when matching yellow gems. As long as he's not stunned, all you have to do is match yellow gems. Your whole team is cleansed. He's also impervious. Now, if you curse him first, he can be stunned. But otherwise, nope. So he's just going to cleanse the whole team. Very, very useful for Guild Wars Red, Yellow, and or Purple Day. As far as weapons go, all right, let's start going over the weapons. Sleigh bells. Sleigh bells ring. Damage to a, let's see, damage to a, if I could talk, that would be fantastic. Damage to an enemy and a random enemy. Steal 1 magic from one of the enemies, it looks like. That's, okay, interesting. Would I craft it for 300 diamonds? Yes, actually, because I have to have all of the weapons. I'm never getting weapon blocked again if I can help it. If you're low on diamonds, though, there's probably well, there's definitely something better in here. And there are a couple in here that are pretty good. So the Radiant Jewel is going to do damage to an enemy boosted by Pan's Veil allies and create a mix of 6 green and yellow gems for each Pan's Veil ally. Be great to run with Luna, who will explode yellow gems. You know, it just, it's really nice for the type of, the type of weapon that it is. Also peaceful. It's going to silence the first enemy when you cast. Yasmin's Pride. This is a good weapon. Eliminate all armor from an enemy. Give all allies life boosted by the armor eliminated. So if you're fighting something really high level, it's going to give your allies a lot of life. I always forget about this particular weapon because, I'm always going for Trickster's Shot or Mang or Earth's Fury or Rope Dart. But this is also a very good weapon. And then we've got the Glaive of Many Goats. Really enjoy this weapon. Damage to an enemy boosted by wild folk allies and create a mix of 6 green and yellow gems for each wild folk ally. So it's not limited to Pan's Veil, it's any wild folk at all. I like both of these weapons. However, the one that I would recommend is further down in the list, and we'll get to that in a minute. As soon as we get there. Loot at the Veil. This is one of the cheap 75 diamond ones. I recommend crafting anything that's 75 diamonds if you can, just so you don't get weapon blocked, because your power levels getting blocked by the weapons is a hard counter for sure. Remove all green gems. You won't get any mana out of it, but it will boost your spell. And if the enemies from Pan's Veil are the battles in Pan's Veil, deal double damage. Next is the Doomed Rod. This is one of the doomed weapons. The staves, first craft the ones, my opinion, craft the ones that create doom skulls first, then the books if you want them for Guild Wars. And then after that, these staves can be really useful. I've started crafting them. Create blue gems plus 1 gem per tempering level. Give armor to all green allies. I know, it's weird. Why blue and then green? Uh, but they can be useful somehow. I haven't gotten to using them yet, but the problem is with the doomed weapons is that in order to get them fully tempered, you have to have the forge scrolls to do it. They're hard to get. They're getting easier to get. They have orbs of forging now, so that makes it easier to do. But still, there are other priorities as far as the doomed weapons go, in my opinion, that you should be spending those on first. Next is the prism staff. This removes all gems of a chosen color, does scatter damage boosted by the gems removed, so you only get an additional 2 damage per, which isn't great, but it does self-enchant, which is very nice. Maybe okay for somebody that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I would ever use it, but I had to have it. I'd already had it because, yeah. So, the weapon I mentioned that is my favorite out of all of these. Oops, there's 2 here. All right, Daisy's Cudgel. I love this. I'm using it for the event. It not only explodes green gems, and of course we've got the random status effect and the summons. It also creates a leaf storm. It does not feed back into itself, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be creating that leaf storm for your team. And, I'm using Queen Beatrix, and Queen Beatrix creates the brown that feeds back into this, and then it explodes green and creates the leaf storm. So it's just really nice synergy for that particular use. And lastly, we have the Tooth of the Wild. This one explodes green gems as well, and also creates a leaf storm with some different colors. And then random status effect and the summons as well. So one's for Pan's Veil, one's for Wild Folk. So, I've done so much talking tonight. Breathe. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you folks soon. Bye-bye!